let's get some insight now from Ben McCluskey. He's a COVID-19 data analyst and joins us from Southampton in the UK. Welcome to this news hour.
Yes, good
with the COVID-19 outbreak, we saw this really massive coming together of everyone in the scientific community to create this vaccine and to create it in such a short space of time, and so much money was thrown into it. Why did we see that with COVID and not with other vaccines and other things that people have been working on for such a long time to try and help the world, essentially?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's just it. I mean, your earlier piece just reinforced how important they are, with 2 to 3 million lives saved every year via immunization. But I think the one takeaway from the COVID-19 vaccine program worldwide, whilst it has its faults and still has its faults in vaccine inequality in terms of distribution, there's definitely been permanent changes in vaccine development, and has shown that when there's a will to get something, there is certainly a way, in the way in which that the vaccine development process was supercharged with funding, and that meant that all these companies worldwide and governments even who were funding these companies to create vaccines and other forms of treatment could take financial risks in order to come out of the pandemic as quickly as possible.
Well, with those financial risks, there do seem to have been many great rewards, because the big pharmaceutical companies are making millions off these vaccines with booster shots and then possibly even more boosters. And there are still places that haven't even received COVID-19 vaccine at all. And it really shows us that discrepancy between rich and poor. Do you think that is something we're going to actually see change, especially going to countries in Africa that have very, very low vaccination rates?
No, absolutely. It's something that we have to see change. We can't just sit around and hope that it happens. It's something that has to be changed. There's such a difference in percentages in vaccination worldwide. I mean, the latest data today, obviously there's a little bit of delay here in Africa, shows that it's just under 25% of the continent that has received at least one dose of the vaccine. You compare that to Western nations, compare that to the UK, where over 12s, I believe it's over 90% have one dose. I mean, that's huge. And there's the clear correlation between socioeconomic inequalities also having a direct influence on health inequalities and things like that. So it's the job of the West, it's the job of countries all around the world to, again, use supercharged funding to get vaccines to the right places via whatever means.
We've also seen a lot of vaccine skepticism as well as hesitancy, possibly fueled even more because of COVID-19. Do you expect that to grow, not just with regards to the COVID vaccine, but just ordinary vaccines that have been around for years?
Yeah, well, sadly, vaccine skepticism, I think, will be here to stay. People will always hold their views, hold their grudges, but it's about educating people. It's about showing the benefits of the vaccine, but perhaps not through coercive means, which is what we've seen worldwide, depending on where people are in the world. At least in the UK, there seemed to be a fair bit of resistance to vaccine passports, depending on political allegiances and things like that. But I think that's where at least most of the skepticism can kind of arise from, where there seems to be an element of coercion in pushing people to try and get the vaccine. So I think there should be more of a focus on the benefits, the easing on healthcare systems. I mean, the vaccination in the UK has been fundamental rather, in easing NHS pressure.
Ben McCluskey, thanks so much for talking to us live to us there from Southampton.